quality of gifts have definitely gone down this year. I've had terrible luck. Terrible luck! Let me sing a little Christmas song for you. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Can you hear that jingling? It's not bells, no, it's a broken device. Got my dad a gift, broken. Got my mother an Apple Watch. It looked like someone ran it through a weed whacker.
Wow.
All through legitimate services. Spent all of this money, all of this time, and I looked like a damn fool. If that's not the Christmas spirit, I don't know what it is. Retailers getting the best of you. Now I got to drive all around, up to Best Buy. I tried to call Amazon, and this woman on the other line, it sounded like she was speaking to me like inside of Iron Mountain, the mountain where they keep all of the government's secrets, because the service was so terrible. The phone couldn't have come in and out anymore than if you were speaking from another planet. Even then, we can take a satellite, right, and send messages throughout the cosmos. But I couldn't hear this woman from Amazon. They're supposed to be a tech company. Am I crazy? That's how my Christmas went. I mean, it was a great Christmas outside of the gifts. Terrible. I spent all of this time. I thought I had it down. Everybody was appreciative, but nothing worked. It was really, really disheartening. So we're going to try to brighten the mood. We're going to try to turn my frown upside down, inject a little post-Christmas spirit into my soul by talking about the good, positive gifts that we received. I'm here with Jay Cooper, my co-host. Jay, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Brian. A lot better than you.
You didn't get screwed over in your gift giving? See, I'm a giver, Jay.
Not.
I just wanted to... We're on River Talk. This is the River's Edge Radio Network, Pittsburgh's voice for local music. I'm a giver. I'm not upset about the gifts I received. In fact, I was really fortunate in the gifts that I received. It's all what I was putting out there, what I was giving. I care so much that I just wanted to give and be happy with giving things, right? And that's what it's supposed to be about, right? It's not supposed to be about getting and receiving. It's supposed to be about giving. Like I'm giving you this show. You should be happy. Be grateful, damn it.
They are.
They are? Okay.
They are. They're very appreciative of you. They're scared to love it now.
That's right. Good. So, Jay, you're saying that you did not give out any wonky gifts. I felt like what's that show whenever you pull the door open and you've got this crappy gift that no one wants and they got the wah wah sound? That's what I felt like for Christmas. Even though I was giving gifts that people do want. Let's make a deal. Yeah, you open the door and wah wah. That's what this Christmas was like. Open up a present, you rip open. Actually, you don't rip open wrapping paper because I'm too lazy for that. You open up the gift bag, pull the item out of the gift bag. You're excited. You think, wow, I really wanted to listen to the music on my cell phone with my car, so I'll get this car stereo. And you shake it, and it sounds like jingle bells, and you hear wonk wonk in the background. That's exactly how Christmas was for me.
That sounds really bad, too. Like, I don't want to make it worse than it already is.
It doesn't matter. It's going back. I got to get a Best Buy tomorrow.
Oh, my God. That's terrible.
Terrible.
Who was this for?
This is for my dad.
For your dad.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was going to get him that, and I also got him a thing for him to connect his cell phone to the vent. Now, I will say, it's not their fault. It's just random luck. But, geez, every gift. I expected my sister got a coat. I was expecting a button to be missing. So all of your gifts were... That was fine.
Yeah.
That I know of. All of your gifts went well. You were able to give good gifts.
I got a lot of good gifts. I mean, for those who've just been... we haven't known, like, I just recently got a car, so I got a lot of stuff for the car.
Okay, yeah.
That I needed. A lot of good stuff. I got gauges. I got floor mats. I got this nice little, that wiper with the LED lights, with the brush and the Ouija and all that. Man, I got that.
Got
man.
It all.
That was nice. Yeah, my pops knew I was watching that on HSN, so
So there you go.
Thanks, pops.
We're gonna be talking with Vincent Didiano, the host of POVincent, our movie review show, movie news and reviews, which you can hear every Friday morning at 9 a.m. right before Geiks Got Game. We're going to be talking more about our Christmas gifts, the gifts that we received, the gifts that we have given, and we're going to be talking about Christmas movies with Vincent here in a little bit. We're going to be bringing up the old debate, which I want to hear your thoughts on, your comments right now. You can text us 412-4072-PGH. That's 412-407-2744. You can tweet us at River Talk PGH or at Coop Troop Comedy. And you can also message us in the Facebook Live feed. Do you think Die Hard is a Christmas movie? It's the biggest controversy in the movie scene. You hear about it every year. We're going to talk with Vincent about it. We're going to see if it is a Christmas movie, why or why not. In his opinion, I'll give mine as well. Jay, I know you'll give yours.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get to that, we're going to talk to Vincent in just a little bit. We've got the Cooper's Corner, but before we do that, I must say I'm using jagoffs as a negative term for the broken device. Whoever assembled this device that did such a terrible job, whoever refurbished my mother's Apple Watch and ran it through a weed whacker before they threw it into the packaging system. Maybe they ran over it with like the car back and forth. I don't know. But some people use jagoff as a positive term, and that's what the Jagoff podcast is doing. Like how it says here, make sure you listen to the Jagoff podcast about the Steel City. It's all about the Steel City. Black and gold stuff happening in Pittsburgh. It's every week from your favorite listening platform of choice. And, of course, right here on the River's Edge. And that's Thursdays at 10 a.m. right here, riversedgepgh.com. Don't forget, you can also listen to the River's Edge on your Echo smart speaker. Just ask the A-Lady, as they call her in Awesome Cast, to play the River's Edge station on TuneIn. And you can then listen to the River's Edge right there from your Echo device. It's time for the Cooper's Corner. Do we have any music?
Yeah, you know what? It's the last one of the year, so why don't we just all just chip in? Then you watch the show, so you know how it goes, right? Yeah. 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 Cooper's Corner. Cooper's Corner. Cooper's Corner. Cooper's Corner. Cooper's Corner. That was nice, man. This big. I might want to
make some use out of this.
Make an instrument out of this thing, man. This is nice. This is the best looking maraca I've ever seen. Okay, with Cooper's Corner, I wanted to talk about because we was talking about the weird gifts that we got. I didn't get any weird gifts, but I was looking online and I was seeing these weird gifts that people might like, even though they didn't ask for it. So
yes.
I was going through a whole bunch of stuff, and one of the ones that really caught my eye, there was 41 of them, but I did my top 5.
Did your top 5?
I did my top 5, and the first one I want to talk about is the spider nose warmer. Spider nose warmer?
What is that? Explain that for me.
Well, spider nose warmer is it's kind of like wearing like a face mask to protect you from the cold, keep your nose from getting cold. They have it sewn in to look like a spider. So it doesn't really, it kind of covers the face, but the main attraction is the nose itself. And it looks real bad.
I was watching an episode of The Practice the other day. I'm on a Practice binge. It's an old law show.
Love that show.
Yeah, great
Love
show.
That show.
There's this guy who calls himself Hannibal Lecter.
Uh-huh.
And basically they put a mask over his face so he couldn't bite people because he was eating people, literally.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what this looks like to me. It looks like the mask, yeah.
It does, and it looks weird on her, too. All right, so for the next one, we have the Flushing Frenzy, which is a cool little kids game made by Mattel. It's a game in which you try to capture flying poop in the air from a toy toilet. Now, just from seeing it, I don't even know why y'all still watching the show, man. Y'all need to go online. You need to look this up. You need to get it now. Have it sent to your family for next year. This is a great gag gift.
Well, actually, this is a great gift for a lot of people I work with. They could get some training, right? Maybe the bathrooms would be usable.
Exactly. I mean, they got a plunger with it. You actually use the plunger. I actually played the commercial on YouTube. The toilet actually literally does shoot poop in the air, and you have to catch it with the plunger, which I think
that's awesome.
It is. All right. The next one we got is this book. It's called The Cat Butt Scratch and Sniff book. Yeah, very popular. So you're looking for another book to add to your pantheon of great literature? Sorry. You won't find that in this guide, but you could get a book that lets you scratch and sniff pictures of cats' posteriors.
Oh, so this is actually the smell of the cat's butt.
Yes, you can smell the cat's butt. It's not exactly a visit from St. Nicholas, but it should make interesting bedtime reading and smelling regardless. So I think that's a good thing. Well, I wouldn't do it, but I'd like to see someone try and do that though. I'm curious what a cat's butt smells like. I mean,
I've
smelled it from kitty litters and stuff like that, but to scratch it and sniff it from a book.
Well, as much as I think this is an awful, and we're going to bring Vincent. It looks like you want to join in on the conversation.
Come on, man.
You're welcome to do so.
I've lived with cats all my life. My mom's a cat person, so we always had cats at home. So I have come within close proximity of cat butts before, but Jay, I think you're kind of alone in the situation of wanting to know this particular smell. Like when I was a kid, I didn't even smell those like markers that Crayola had for a while that you were supposed to sniff. It was like a gateway.
And they never smelled like it was supposed to smell like.
Oh.
Well, see, I think like this could be a really great concept if it was something that people actually wanted to smell. For example, if it was a coloring book where you were smelling different types of exotic fruits, for example, or for a lot of people, different types of fast food, or some people like that smell. There are things that could be enticing, right, in a book like this. But I don't know if cat butts is going to sell.
I don't know. You know what? I'm going to get one from my grandma. My grandma's a cat lady. And
that's true. There is a big cat lady population.
Yes, so there may be something to it. Maybe she can get all the cats together in one bed, read them a nice, bedtime story.
That's true. That would be a big winner there.
And she can scratch it, and then the cats can sniff it.
They could come, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm wondering.
So it's like catnip almost.
I wonder if the cat would sense that it's fake.
That's a good point, because especially what if the cat's allergic to it? Like I'm allergic to artificial scents. What if the cat is allergic to an artificial cat?
Fake cat poop smell.
It's possible.
I don't know if I've ever heard of cats having allergies. Oops. Can cats have allergies?
I've seen them sneeze before. I don't know.
I'm
not a cat person. I'm a dog person, so I don't know.
I like both. I go both ways.
Okay. Wait, we're still talking about...
We're still talking about cats and dogs. So.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, moving on. The next one, and this was actually an interesting one. The Talking President Predicto.
Oh, whoops, I got the wrong one up.
Huh?
There it is. All right.
Yes, the Talking President Predicto. It's a nice big. It's kind of like the
Magic
very
8
popular,
ball.
the very popular Magic 8 Ball. So if you need to know what the future holds, why not ask a guy that's incapable of telling the truth? This being our president, Donald Trump.
So will it tell you what you want to know, or will it mislead you?
Well, what it does is they use real Trump quotes to predict the future, and you can probably predict which of your friends or family members will actually like this. So I got a few in mind. I wouldn't mind getting this for them. I would like to hear his voice and his opinions on certain matters and stuff. So that seems like an intriguing.
So that way you know what to reject and ignore?
Yeah. So basically, anything he says, I will do the opposite anyway.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, think about it. Okay, the next one we got, we can go back to that one.
All right.
It's the car umbrella.
Yes.
Which is the probably one of the biggest ones that I really like. If you're like crazy about the rain and stuff like that, I mean, look no further. To have a car umbrella that covers the entire car.
It looks like somebody took a kayak and just put a fabric on it.
I know, right?
Like fabric.
It's like they just stretched out a kite and they just like planted it right on top of the car. But for those who obsess about how climate changes,
well, see, what I really
cause to get messy, well, this umbrella, it eases their worries.
What I really like about this is, so lately my heat has not been working very well, so my defroster isn't working that great. And this would actually protect me. If I had a giant car umbrella like this, I wouldn't have the rain falling on my windshield. I'd be able to get around a little bit easier. Mm-hmm. So actually, I endorse this. I like that.
And the way to look at it also is that it also keeps the car cool when it's sunny out.
In the summer.
So now you don't have to get into the car where it's all hot and everything.
I like that aspect of it. I like that. The whole rain thing, I'm like, get wet. I haven't washed it in a month. Let me get wet.
There's a lot of people who actually do need to like run their car through a wash.
This is true.
Seriously. Sap, bird shit, everything. That's just...
Well, Keith, why is my paint job crap? Well, you didn't wash it, man.
Right. And I think that's all of them.
That's it.
That's all of them. That is the top 5.
That is the top 5
of the weird toys that you might like. So out of the 5, which one stood out the most for you?
Go ahead, Vincent. What do you think?
The Trump one a little bit, but the spider nose warmer just seems the most useless to me. It's like, if your face is feeling cold, why are you stopping at the nose? I mean, when I get cold, my cheeks are cold, my ears are cold. It's just like, it seems like very specific people who have just horrible blood circulation to their nose only would require this item. So that one is just that one stands out to me because I just feel like it's the most useless.
Well, you know what? I have seen people with the red noses before, so I don't know. It might help. Plus, it also gathers snot buildup and everything, right?
Yeah, I have a bad bathroom phobia. I don't like to go into a bathroom that's dirty or disgusting. Like, it's awful. Like I go into work and I have to look into every single stall and find out which one's the cleanest before I go in there. And I got to go through. Sometimes I have to go through and flush the commodes on each side of me, so that way there's not air poo flowing from stall to stall and then into my lungs and infecting my entire body with feces. So I feel like the poop catcher toy is not only maybe a fun thing to do, but I feel like it could be a good correctional tool for teaching people proper cleanliness.
I agree.
So I'm really a big advocate of that. I'd actually like to see every child with a poop catching device, so they know, because some people just don't know how to control themselves. Some people, it's like they let it fly, and if they could then learn how to clean up their mess afterwards, I think the entire world would be not only a better place, but a safer, a healthier, and a more prosperous place. I envision
agree.
a world that's clean. See, like, I'm not...
In a perfect world.
More of a no. In this world, Jay. In this world,
we could
stand up to. If we're gonna stand up to climate change, I think we could at least, if we're gonna do it right, if we're gonna stand up for climate change, can't we at least stand up to dirty bathrooms to start? I mean, if we can't even manage that, what chance do we have at saving the world?
In theory, it sounds good. In theory, it sounds real good.
You know me, like
but in reality. I don't know.
You know me, I'm like flat out fascist when it comes to bathroom policies. I'm in favor of secret police forces. I'm in favor of incarceration for people who don't tend to the room when it's done.
Yeah. You must have been a big fan of that South Park episode where they did that, where they had like TSA in the bathroom. Do you remember that one episode?
I didn't see it, no, but that's something I would definitely love. I know in China they were actually using a police force to check the restrooms because they had this came out years ago because they were having such negative publicity over their bathrooms that they came out.
Entire country.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. It's not sad. It's ingenious, and I think we need to do it here.
No, it's sad that they even had to do that.
I mean, we have to do that. We should have to do it. We should have to do it here. I mean, it's a disaster.
And this is in China, you said?
Yeah, it's a public crisis in this country.
Way more people over there.
Oh, yeah.
Way more people over there. So, yeah.
But it's a public crisis here. People are diseased. They become sick. And I've learned some really terrifying things recently about the bathrooms. I was listening to another podcast. It's called Science Versus. It's a science podcast. And apparently, you know how like people will line the toilet seat with paper towels to protect their ass from germs?
Right.
Well, apparently, the germs can actually float through the toilet paper and reach your ass nonetheless. That does not protect you at all from bacteria, from viruses, from parasites. There are parasites on the toilets, Jay, because people don't clean up after themselves.
Oh, tell me about it. At my job, no matter how bad I got to go, I always wipe down the seat. And I always have these leftover wipes, those antibacterial wipes. And I'm wiping that bitch down like all the way underneath the seat, the actual toilet itself.
Oh.
I'm wiping everything down.
I'll get some toilet paper, run over to the sink real quick, get some of the foam soap.
I do that at the gym.
Run back over to the stall and give it a good wipe sometimes. I'm like, oh, wow, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure there's 3 different urines on this one right now.
Right?
So I'm going to be extra safe.
3 different urines. The fact that you got to see 3 different shades of pee. That's gross. And then you know what? While we're on this subject, I'm going to put this out to the people who's watching. 2 words. Courtesy flush.
Yeah.
That's all I can say about that.
And
Courtesy
you have to watch.
When you go, flush right away. Don't sit around, especially in a public bathroom. Don't sit around and just like enjoy the smell of your funk and stench. You know what I'm saying?
Ugh.
Like, as soon as you go, flush the toilet. Don't nobody want to smell your shit.
No, nobody wants to.
We're not like dogs. We don't sniff each
and
other's
you have
heinies,
to stand. And here's some more bathroom etiquette while we're on the topic. You have to stand and watch it go down because you have to watch for backflow. Sometimes it backflows, and then you still have leftover residue in the toilet that needs to be taken care of.
They think that women think that they have it bad. We drop a load and then we have to actually like sit up when that flush happens, because I do not want some of that access to come back.
I'll disagree with you. I disagree that men have it as bad or worse. I would agree if people weren't pigs. So men are pigs and they'll pee on the seats, right? Mm-hmm. Well, women are not any better, and they do the squat and shit. Yeah. Where they hover over the toilet and launch it like a bomb, just like into the water. Yeah. And sometimes sometimes when it hits the water, it hits it with such force that it ricochets back. I know this because I used to have to clean bathrooms. And I've spoken with many women on the subject too to confirm my suspicions, and it turns out that it's actually more widespread and worse than I had anticipated and realized. So in Science Versus, they actually covered the hover and poop. Really? And apparently it does absolutely nothing to protect the hoverer either. The hoverer is just as susceptible to germs, bacteria, viruses, and parasites when they hover, because the bacteria can actually float through the sky and reach their butt and then crawl into their anus and infect their body.
Oh, my God.
So it doesn't
just
save
change
you.
A few words in there, and like Ridley Scott has his next horror film in space. Like, it's a spinoff from Aliens. Just like little aliens. They just... Oh, wait, wasn't that a monster movie? I feel like
it was
one of those critters
sci-fi
Ghoulies.
Movie.
They did that in Ghoulies.
Ghoulies,
where it went up the guy's ass. There.
We're way off topic. We're way cutting into the Die Hard debate, which I wanted to talk about right now. We've got Vincent Didiano here in studio.
Yes, we forgot all about that.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Yes or no?
To me, the answer is no.
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 No. No. No, damn it. I'm going to stand up for what I believe.
Why not?
Even though I'm sitting.
It takes place at Christmas time.
It takes place at Christmas time. Christmas is the setup. Christmas is the setting. But for the rest of the movie, Christmas really doesn't have that much of effect on it. It doesn't affect how John McClane, approaches the villains. It doesn't really affect... Christmas or not, he's going to save his wife. It's not like there's other Christmas things going on. I mean, the terrorists aren't Christmas-themed. They're not like rogue elves from Santa's Workshop that are trying to get money so they can go somewhere else. And I love Die Hard. I've watched it since I was a boy. I've watched it I don't know how many times over the years. I'll watch it again as time goes on. But I don't know. Growing up, I never saw it as a Christmas film. I kind of see why people do. And, I get, it happens at Christmas. I get
it
that.
Does.
It did play Christmas music in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
I got it.
It got you
into
it's
a setup, yeah.
Yeah, it was a nice setup.
But the movie came out in, July. It came out during the summer.
True.
So
I think I agree with Vincent also. I don't think
I'm not alone this time.
I don't think it's a Christmas movie, but...
what about Batman Returns?
Oh, that's another one that I've seen come up.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that's the one with the penguin and Catwoman,
wait,
right?
You're seeing it other places? Because I've been saying this for years. I was the only one talking about it. I'm glad other people are catching on. Batman Returns. If Die Hard is a Christmas movie, then so is Batman Returns. They have a Christmas tree. It takes place in the wintertime. That woman falls off of the building onto the box that sends the bats out of the Christmas tree. It's more Christmas than Die Hard.
I agree with that.
I would be more like, once again, that's one of those movies where I never really thought of as a Christmas movie. It's a Batman movies are action,
They even say...
But I would be more inclined to call that a Christmas movie than Die Hard, because at least Christmas stuff keeps popping up and has an effect.
And
like
even
the woman,
at the end of
Miss Christmas or whatever the hell her name was, like the dumb blonde. It's like, my career.
Even at the end of the movie, Batman says goodwill to all men, and then he pauses and he says, and women, because he's speaking about Catwoman, and then you see Catwoman in the scene setting them up for her to return in the next movie, which never happened.
Which they dropped the ball on.
Yeah, they went with some rubbish with
it was all
Riddler
because Tim Burton went too dark in that one.
No, he didn't. That was a great movie.
But I like Batman Returns, but parents felt differently.
They were wrong.
And it had and it had a lot to do with McDonald's, because McDonald's had their tie-in toys, and a lot of parents didn't let their kids get the tie-in toys because they felt Batman Returns was too violent, and because McDonald's lost money, the studio lost money, and the studio, Tim Burton had an idea for a third movie. He had going. He even started designing a suit, but they were like, Tim, don't you want to do something else? And he was like, you guys don't want me to do a third movie, do you?
Batman didn't even kill nobody.
No, he didn't. He's a good guy.
He didn't kill nobody in that one.
Yeah. Well, the only kill that could count is the guy who, he put the TNT stick on him. He shoved him in the sewer.
Yeah,
that's
pretty good.
That's one.
Yeah, but other than that,
So let's go through the lineup. We'll start with you, Vincent, since you're the movie connoisseur and expert. What is the best Christmas movie, in your opinion?
I mean, I'm a fan of, because this story, which is based on the famous book, has been adapted into so many forms, from live action to animated to Muppets. A Christmas Carol is my favorite Christmas story or movie. Okay. And like I said, there's how many different cartoons, whether it's a big screen cartoon. You had that the one with Jim Carrey that did the 3D one from that was 8-9 years ago now. You got the Muppets one, which is also fun in its own way. I just bought one of the really old black and white ones. There was a sale at the Southside Library, and they were giving away books and DVDs for $1, and I snatched that up real quick. Because I think it gets to the heart of Christmas, the goodwill towards men, being kind to one another just because it's the right thing to do, and, just having time and being merry. So to me, a Christmas Carol for me.
Okay.
I was learning something really interesting about that entire play. Apparently at the time when that was written, there was an economic philosophy that was going on where basically the rich... It was basically certain people were considered I'm trying to think of expendable, I guess. They were considered expendable, and Tiny Tim was considered that person, and there was a huge shift in economics that took place after that had been written. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, that's a good movie. I could see that. I'm kind of torn between two different movies myself. Or why don't you go first, Jay?
Hands down, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Solid choice.
Yeah, that's a very good choice.
I'm a fan of Chevy Chase. I've been a fan of the National Lampoon Vacation movies for a long time. It's just a movie that you can actually see happening. Clark Griswold want the whole family together in his house for Christmas, and that what they say about Murphy's Law, whatever can go wrong will go wrong. So
yeah,
that's just how it was. Everything went wrong. He tried to make it perfect, and everything just started backfiring when they brought in Cousin Eddie, and then he had his kids that were messed up. Yeah, the shitter is full. He's emptying the shitter in the sewer right outside the house, in his robe, smoking a cigar, drinking a beer. I mean, it's stuff that as weird as it sounds, you can actually see that happening.
Yeah,
that's what I
like
about it. It seemed real.
Well, I think that's genuine. A really good point, because I feel the same way about the Christmas Story. I could see a lot of that stuff happening in real life, and I've experienced never exactly the way it happened, because my family was different than that family, but I remember going and looking for the Christmas tree. I remember going to see Santa Claus. You know what I mean? Things like that you remember doing yourself as a child. So that was very relatable to me in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So that movie I really liked. And that's probably my favorite Christmas movie. That would probably take the cake for me.
Yeah, that would be choice number 2 for me.
The funny thing about A Christmas Story is when it came out in theaters, it actually wasn't a big hit. It actually kind of it did okay. But what really made it big was the marathon they had on television, which I think TNT originally did it, but
they still do it.
Yeah, but TBS does it now too. Apparently, it was on a few months
it's
ago.
Turner.
Yeah,
Turner owns both networks. So
that's right. I forget. But that same thing with same thing with It's a Wonderful Life. Back in the day when Wonderful Life came out in theaters, it actually wasn't a big hit.
Yes,
it only became a big hit years later when I once again I can't remember which TV station was they were looking through their files we need to put something on. What's this? Let's throw it on. It's got angels and Christmas. Put it on, and then it became a hit.
Yeah. What was his name? Jimmy Stewart?
Yeah. And I do want to talk about that. He was
a talented guy.
Oh, he was a big dude back in the day. He was an A-lister.
Right.
So I think that movie's fantastic.
Yes.
I really, really love that movie. But to me, it's unbelievably depressing.
It is.
It is not. People act like this is some sort of happy ending in that movie. To me, that movie's a tragedy. The guy had dreams, and none of them were fulfilled. Yeah, his family's doing okay. Yeah, he saved this and that, and he did good things. He didn't commit suicide, which is good. You don't never want someone to commit suicide. But, I mean, he didn't accomplish any of his goals in life at all. Yes, he's a good person. And sometimes people aren't able to accomplish their goals.
Right.
And they could still be good people. They could still contribute great things to society. But that's not a happy ending. People act like that's a happy ending. It's still a very, very sad ending. This guy didn't get anything.
He just realized that his shitty life wasn't as shitty as he thought it was.
Yeah,
that's basically what it was.
But it's still not as good as it should have been.
Right.
And if he had any kind of movie with a real happy ending, he would have accomplished what he wanted to do.
Yeah, and the whole every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings. You see him running down the street, saying Merry Christmas to inanimate objects like the movie house and all that shit. I didn't get that, but they played that music just right to get you a little misty eyed.
Well, I mean, it's definitely an inspirational movie, and I think it's very inspirational. I think it shows what a good person could do under bad circumstances, which I think is all great. It's got some great lessons, but let's not act like it has a happy ending, because it doesn't. It's a sad movie. That's my opinion. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree to a degree. I think what they're trying to do there at the end is like, yeah, life doesn't always turn out the way you want it, but that doesn't mean that your life hasn't had a significant impact on others. And just to be thankful that you've got what you've got. But yeah, no.
See, I consider my life a complete failure if I don't accomplish all of my goals.
I kind of, to a degree, that's why I kind of feel. I feel you in that way too, because I have a lot of regrets in my life from the stuff I didn't do, and when I stopped, basically stop screwing around, and be like, dude, just get around and do it. Just stop saying, because I would tell myself all the time, it's like, I don't know what I'm doing, or like, this isn't that good, and when I stopped telling myself that, then when things turn out, that's what Jimmy Stewart's character needed to do.
Yeah,
like, I gotta give it another shot.
Exactly.
That was a good.
It would have been great if the town
voice. I like that.
Thank you.
Rallied around him and he accomplished everything he wanted.
We're gonna get you back in football. We're gonna get you. I hear there's this team called the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're really coming up in the ranks.
Yes.
What was that crap he did with the moon when he was talking to the girl?
You
want me to give you the moon? I'll get a lasso and I'll wrap it around and bring it to you. I'm like, oh.
Well, there is one movie I want to give an honorable mention as one of the best. It's a movie that I discovered just a few years ago.
Okay.
And I was blown away. It's fantastic. It's called Santa versus the Martians. Santa Claus conquers the Martians.
That's a classic one, isn't it?
Space blazing color.
Well,
this movie was fantastic,
yeah.
But it was horribly awesome.
Oh no, yeah.
And I'll be honest, the guy who played Santa Claus was a genius. He was fantastic. Have you had a chance to watch this movie, Joe?
No, but I saw it and I saved this one, so I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to now.
Yeah, I watched it. I purchased it and I watched it. I was super happy with this movie. It was just like the guy who played Santa is exactly what you would expect Santa to be like in real life. Mm-hmm. He's fat. Mm-hmm. He's old. He's a drunk. Mm-hmm. The guy is basically a drunk. If you watch the movie, he's essentially a drunk. That's what he is. He says things that doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. Half the time you feel like his words are slurring. He's there with a bunch of kids, drunk, fat.
Well, the kids are drunk too?
No, okay. they're not drunk. He's drunk. You can tell the guy's got to be drunk, but it's great. And he makes sense. He's a good Santa. He's a good guy. He's not a villain. It's the best portrayal of a Santa Claus I have ever seen. He's like the real Santa. All of these Santas are too phony on TV. Like, they're too unrealistically happy and perfect.
So what you're saying is you want the Family Guy Santa that is so overwhelmed by all the Christmas wish lists that when he meets
he's a little nuts.
When he meets Brian and Stewie, he takes Stewie's gun and puts it in his mouth and be like, pull the trigger.
I don't want him to be that crazy. This Santa rides the line just perfectly. Okay. He's a little tipsy. He's not like flat blackout drunk, like knocking things over and throwing toys. He's
not like Willie from Fat Santa. I mean, from Bad Santa.
No. He's like
where's my peppermint schnapps?
He's got just enough in him to make the voyage. It's like, I got to deal with kids overnight, like 24 hours of this shit. Give me a whiskey. That's the kind of Santa that this is. Just drunk enough. The kind of Santa you would expect to walk out of the local bar down the street, one of the pubs, with a little bit of a buzz. Mm-hmm. He will, I don't know, give a kid a $5 bill on his way out just to be a nice guy. He's a nice guy. Everyone likes him. He's not an angry drunk. That's what this Santa was like. He was great, and he kicked ass. He made the Martians friendly. He made peace with them because he's a good guy.
Okay. Well, let me ask this. Just going back to what we were saying about movies. I'm not sure if they're Christmas movies, but real quick, as if I don't ask this. Gremlins.
Ooh.
The first one.
Ooh.
Would that be considered a Christmas movie? It did take place in Christmas. The inventor, the dad, he did buy that mogwai for Billy for Christmas.
The whole movie does revolve around the consequences of a bad Christmas gift. So yeah, that's ooh.
Yeah. Got Got it marinated in it, right?
I would say because the whole thing revolves around a bad Christmas gift just going really bad, I would say it just barely qualifies.
All right, we got a winner.
Just
We got a
barely.
winner.
Awesome.
It just makes it over that line. Doesn't get a whole lot over the line. It's not like a fucking Olympic jumper. It got way over it. But no, it just
Just there.
Just enough.
just enough. Got in the sand.
So worst Christmas movie?
Worst.
Yes.
Ooh. That's tough because I don't.
Santa's Little Helper. It was a.
I'm so familiar.
Yeah, it was one of those straight to DVD movies played by one of my favorite pro wrestlers, The Miz, and it was terrible. It was. I don't even know what the plot was about. That's how bad it was. You had like a whole bunch of wrestlers in the movie. They can't act.
Yeah.
Not that I'm saying The Miz can't act. I'm just saying he couldn't. He sucked in that movie. Like he's good in the Marine, 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 or whatever the hell, how many Marines there is. But that movie was outright terrible. One of the worst Christmas movies I have ever seen in my life. Hour and a half I can never get back. So.
Well, now I'm thinking about this movie that came out. This was like years ago. This is like late '90s, maybe early late '90s. What was his name? Jonathan Taylor Thomas from Home Improvement.
Oh, you're talking about Tim Allen?
Yeah,
With
well,
the
who played the middle son? No, I'm not talking about Santa Claus.
Oh, okay.
The actor who played the middle son. Jonathan.
You're asking the wrong.
I don't know.
guy.
The kid who voiced young
Yeah,
Simba in The Lion King.
what about him?
Yeah, he was in this movie called I'll Be Home for Christmas, where he plays this kid in college who's like the total. He's the ultimate asshole. He really does everything for himself. He cheats on all the tests. He lies to his girlfriend all the time so he can get his way, and he never goes home because he hates his dad for remarrying after his mom passed away. And his dad says, "I'll let you have my classic Corvette if you're home by Christmas night at this time." And then so he goes cross country to get home, but the people he screwed at college screw him back, and he's stuck in the middle of a desert and has to find his way back home. And it's one of those stories where he's like, he's going to change over the course of the movie because he encounters people in Christmas situations, like kids in a hospital or toys getting delivered. But he's still a fucking asshole right up until almost he gets home.
Oh, wow.
So it kind of defeats the whole, and it's like, and he was a good actor back in the 90s. Remember, back in the 90s, he was like a teen heartthrob and all that, but he really wasn't that great because the character is so unlikable.
Are we talking about Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
Yes, what I was saying. Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
yeah.
That's his name. Yeah.
That's it.
And that guy had a lot of personality, the only thing I remember him doing after Home Improvement was that and, I don't know, a couple episodes of Smallville.
Because after that, he stopped acting.
Yeah, although that
he didn't want to act no more. He decided to concentrate on college and all that other stuff.
even though he did a couple more roles.
Yeah,
He lied to Tim Allen. Tim Allen.
So it would have been great if that movie. Go ahead.
The older he got, the less cute he got. See?
Okay.
And plus, he stayed short the whole time. You notice, like, all the other brothers got tall.
Yeah.
Like, he was the oldest, or he was the second oldest. And
Yeah, in the show. In real life,
Yeah.
he was the oldest.
okay.
Oh, okay.
But his brothers were like, they all sprout, and they're like 6 feet plus and
Yeah.
everything. And he's like, what, 5'8"?
Yeah. No, yeah.
Or
I
something,
don't think
5'7".
Yeah, I think everybody in this room's taller than him.
Yeah.
Even now.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So that movie could have been great if they went an old Christine route. And the car, isn't that what the movie's called? And the car came alive.
Christine?
And it
Great
tortured
Stephen King
him.
movie.
Like you're gonna change, you bastard. Christmas is coming, or else you're gonna die. Like that would have been an interesting movie. That would have been a better movie, I think,
I can see
than
that.
what you're talking about. I don't see. I feel like all of the Christmas. I'm gonna just do a mass slashing of really bad Christmas movies. That one Christmas movie where it's like Santa Claus versus Jack Frost. It's Tim Allen.
Oh, yeah, that was one of the Santa Claus sequels. That was the third one.
Basically, any of them after the first one.
Yeah.
And Elf and all of those types of Christmas comedies where it's like zany and it's Christmas. All of those suck. They're horrible.
Yeah, Elf was,
Yeah, no.
I've never even seen Elf, but I'm putting it in that category because I've seen the commercials.
It was okay.
It couldn't have been okay.
It wasn't great. It wasn't great.
Don't say that in front of children. You'll make them cry. Like I'm not defending. I'm not defending Elf. I'm just saying there's a lot of kids where that is their like.
Santa's a drunk, kids. So I think all of those are terrible. That's my opinion. So, all right. That's POVincent. Vincent Didiano himself.
My man.
Vincent in POVincent. You're welcome to join us in the rest of the show.
Okay.
But we're going to move on. That's some holiday recap of some Christmas movies to continue the spirit. We're technically, according to the church, we're still in the Christmas season. So.
Yep. just for another day or two. And
Yeah.
then it's on to the New Year's. I
It's
can't
on to
wait.
the new year.
I can't wait.
But before we move into the Hood Rat of the Week, we have a word from Jay Cooper.
Pittsburgh's premier museum review podcast is The Culture Cruise and can only be heard on the River's Edge. Join River Talk's Brian Crawford with museum aficionado Randy Highland as they drive to obscure museums in the Pittsburgh area. Listen as they lay down their opinions and tackle horrible drivers as the show is recorded while driving. The Culture Cruise can be heard at riversedgepgh.com/Culture Cruise.
All right. It is time for the Hood Rat of the Week. We don't have the music. I got to find the music.
I know. I missed the music.
I deleted
it's been
it
like
from
a month.
Yeah, I deleted it because it was on the old computer. So I gotta find it again.
Well, it's all good. Well, a homeowner in Maine received a surprise visitor at his Waterboro home this past Sunday afternoon, but it definitely wasn't Santa. Police.
Not even a drunk Santa?
No. Well, he's kind of like Santa because he did break into your house.
All right.
And he did eat your food. So that's one way of looking at it. The man who owned the house, he opened up the door of his house only to find an intruder who was watching television and wearing some of his clothes.
Ooh.
Yeah. We're talking about our Hood Rat of the Week, Mr. Derek Tarbox, 35 years old, alleged burglar, somehow convinced the homeowner that he mistaken the home for his friend's house. He broke in from the back, and he got into some of the guy's clothes and went into his fridge to get something to eat and sat down and watched television. But what made it even crazier is when the man came home to find the man, he asked him for a ride to the place he wanted to go to.
Yes. This is incredible.
Holy shit.
So
Yeah, and he gave him a ride.
Oh,
he
God.
didn't kick his ass out. He didn't, like he just said, "I just want the man out of my house, so I'll drive him." But I'm like, okay, this dude just broke into your home. You don't know what he is. You don't know what he's carrying. You don't know what he's capable of. His mindset. But you're already walking him out of your house. Now you got him in your car now to take him into a whole nother town. Hey, the holiday season, I guess.
So like I said,
Yes.
I've been
I don't know. I don't know if he's being kind and compassionate or just like I don't know what else are worse. But you're being dude. You're a loser. I'm sorry. I would have went off on that guy. I would have grabbed the nearest blunt object. Like, man, you better get out that door and leave my clothes as you do, or otherwise you're gonna have some physical contact with this statue I got here, or whatever. I'm just like. You want to ride here? I'll call the cops. They can give you a fucking ride. Like,
That's probably what I would have done. Yeah. He just said, "I just want him out of my house." So I gave him a ride. I'm like, what?
I've been watching the practice a lot, as I've said. They always tell the client, when the client wants to represent themselves, the judge says it's a terrible idea. You really need to get counsel. The guy says, no, I want to represent myself. The judge says, well, I'm going to appoint someone to be your backup, right? That always happens on the practice. Usually they're right. This guy should represent himself. If he's able to break into someone's house, wear their clothes, steal their food, eat their food, cause damage
Stretch
to their
out,
property,
watch television. I mean, just making himself at home, right?
what was he watching?
and then
That's what I want to know. What the hell was he watching?
and
Just watching
then,
The Price is Right, Plinko?
after all of that, you convince the homeowner to spend their money to drive you to the next town over to avoid paying the Uber with the credit card you stole from the guy in his house.
That's an interesting concept.
Then you really should represent yourself, because if you're that convincing, you're that damn convincing, you should be in front of a jury, because my God, you're going to get off.
Take that
this
man
guy-
to Hollywood.
A jury of his peers, he's going to win.
Yeah,
He's won. It's done. That's it.
I don't know if it was the holidays or maybe
guy's
it
a
was the Christmas
mastermind.
spirit or something, but that was some really ballsy stuff to just sit around and just wait for the owner of the house to come home and
Give you a ride.
I'm just wondering, like, did he hide or something, or did he just wait until he walked in the living room and saw him stretched out and said, "Hey, bro,
This guy's going to get off.
A nice couch you got here.
I know, right? I hope you don't mind. I fixed myself a sandwich.
Yeah.
Hey, I like this cable, man. You got all the channels. Like,
Is that real marble countertops? What is that?
he's probably watching Christmas movies.
Speaking of the practice, there's something I want to mention right here, and I'm hoping maybe somebody in the audience has some idea, because I've been Googling and Binging and Yahooing and Ask Jeevesing I've been going through the gambit of search engines on the internet, trying to find out David E. Kelly, the man who created the practice.
Yes.
What his deal is with the U.S. Postal Service. The guy seems to be really, really, really into the U.S. Postal Service. If you watch his programs, if you watch Ally McBeal, which is one of his creations, every time she's on the street, if you watch, there's one of those blue postal bins or a post office truck that walks by, almost in every scene when she's walking on the street. In the practice, if you watch the practice, one of the episodes, they show they zoom in on the street sign, and it says Postal Court or something like that. If you're in the actual courtrooms watching the proceedings, you'll find post office hods, which are the plastic bins they use for flats. You'll see them in the background, in the shot, in many of the shots. In almost every episode of every one of his shows, at least out of those 2 shows, there's at least one cut of something related to the U.S. Postal Service.
Product placement.
I don't know, because I don't feel like the post office would have that kind of advertising revenue.
It's a secret. They don't know, but
it always bothered me when they did stuff like that. It was kind of like hidden unless somebody told you.
I mean, this would have been a lot of money to get it placed in every single scene on 2 different shows that aired on 2 different networks. I don't think it's that. I think this guy genuinely has some sort of connection to the Postal Service, whether he worked there at one time or whether maybe he needed some sort of a document and they got it there on time, saved the relative. I don't know. Maybe a postman was on his route and, grandma fell and broke a hip and he helped her to the hospital. I don't know. I want to know. Like, I cannot find this information, and it's not like I could just pull out the phone and hit up David E. Kelly and ask him, what's the deal with the Postal Service?
Have you ever tried tweeting at him?
Is he on Twitter?
Who isn't on Twitter?
That's true. I'm not good at Twitter. I'm bad at Twitter.
I'm on Twitter, and I don't like Twitter.
Yeah,
I hate Twitter.
So
follow me on Twitter.
Know. Does anybody out there know?
At POVincent Review on Twitter.
412-4072-PGH. Please text me. I really am genuinely curious because I binged Ally McBeal, and I'm now binging The Practice. And you see it come up so many times.
That reminds me so much of Psych, because in every episode they always showed a pineapple.
Oh,
yeah.
And in every episode, there was a scene somewhere where there was a pineapple hidden or shown somewhere, and I never understood why.
Well, that just sounds
what was
more
the
like
obsession with the pineapple?
That just sounds more like a goofy little gag, which maybe the post office thing is a goofy gag too.
I don't know.
That, or maybe David E. Kelly, like yourself, worked for the post office, and it made him the man he became.
Don't mention where I work on air.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, I don't know what his deal is. I don't know. It's odd. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't get it. So it's something I've been wondering. So yeah, if anybody knows the answer to that, please let me know. Like, I'm genuinely curious about that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm curious. And I watched the show too, and I didn't even notice that. Did you notice that while watching it?
Yes.
Or okay, so you didn't read about it?
No, I had no clue until I just was watching it, and I kept seeing it on Ally McBeal, and I'm like, well, maybe there's just a lot of, I thought maybe I'm just seeing this. Maybe there's just a lot of these blue boxes in Boston. But then when you see it in all of the courtrooms, like they're in a courtroom and you see a stack of these hods in the shot, I'm like, there's no way that happened on accident because that's a set. That's inside of the studio. That's not a shot on the street. It had to have been placed there, right? So what's the connection?
I don't know.
If anyone knows,
the answer,
let us know. You can tweet me at RiverTalkPGH. You can message the Facebook page at RiverTalkPGH. Please let us know. Really, really, really need to know that.
For those of you who've never even heard of these shows, I mean, because basically we're naming shows that came out in like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Exactly. So you should already know, right? No spoilers here.
Yeah, for the young listeners and everything, I believe it's on Amazon.
It's on Hulu.
Prime, and it's on Hulu.
Yeah.
I know some of it is on Prime. I'm still watching NYPD Blue, which I can't believe I didn't watch it when I was younger. That was such a great show. Yeah. So it's out there for those who want to watch it. It's good stuff. This was back when there was good television, not just crap that's out today. There's no good TVs. This was before reality TV, because that's everybody's favorite show now. I ask people, what's your favorite show? Oh, Housewife. No, shut up. I don't even want, don't even tell me what city. I don't care. Don't say New Jersey. Don't say Atlanta.
Yeah.
Don't say California. I don't want, that's not a show.
Real Housewives of Bangkok.
Oh God, all that crap. Oh, the Real Housewives of Bangkok. None of them would be women. I mean, they'd be women. They would look like women, but they wouldn't. But they would have penises because that's what they have in Bangkok.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, cultural review by Jay Cooper.
Yeah.
I know, right? Not that I've been there. I'm just saying I've seen. I've read about it.
Yeah. So, Vincent.
Yeah.
What do you have coming up?
Every week, next week we're going to have a new episode of the POVincent podcast. And as you mentioned earlier, streaming on the River's Edge at 9 a.m. every Friday morning. Next week, we're going to be talking about the best and worst movies that me and my co-host, Eric Williams, saw this past year in 2018. With a movie review, and I'm not sure whether I'm going to do a review of Escape Room, because that's what's coming out next week, or I might do a review of this Netflix movie Bird Box that everyone keeps talking about. Not sure yet. More leaning towards Bird Box.
Yeah, that's Sandra Bullock movie.
That's Sandra Bullock movie where it's like she's blindfolded because there's some kind of like monsters or something. I don't know. Huh. And then on January 9th will be the next episode of my monthly podcast, Silver Screen Stand-Ups.
Which is doing really well. Everybody's raving about it. I've seen all sorts of traffic.
It's been it's been a hell of a lot of fun on top of that. That's one where me and two other local comedians sit down and watch a bad film and then discuss it later on the podcast. This time around, I'll be joined by Alex Homiak and Liz Tripoli.
Oh,
and
nice.
We're going to be watching the Jake Gyllenhaal classic Bubble Boy.
Oh, goodness.
That sounds fantastic.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry, Jay. I didn't know it had that kind of he's having flashbacks now. Fabio, why?
I remember that movie, and I'm just like,
Jake Gyllenhaal gets nominated for Oscars now. That's how far you can come, people. Don't ever give up.
He's come a long way. He has definitely come a long way because, oh, God, he wouldn't have made it if he kept making movies like that.
No.
He wouldn't have made it.
People are like, just keep making those October Sky films. You like,
right?
Be a rocket boy.
Jay, you got anything else?
Yeah.
For me, no, that's not good. Tune in. We live stream every episode, of the podcast Thursday night for POVincent, Wednesday for the Silver Screen Stand-Up. So tune in. It's always a good time.
Absolutely. And then it, of course, re-airs POVincent if you missed the live taping Friday mornings at 9 a.m. right before Geit's Got Game. Jay, I know you've got stuff going on.
Oh, yeah. This is the big one I've been pushing. This is the last show of 2018. Y'all need to come out to this. We got Comedy Night at the Sahara Temple. It's located in Braddock. It's going down tomorrow night at 8 p.m. I got, Howie D. Mack, our good friend Howie D. Mack. He's hosting the show. And my boys, Levi, the People's Comic. We got One Eye, also good. And then Sean Parker, who just won first place at the Pittsburgh Improv Comedy Contest. Nice. He's going to be on the show, too. Great show, man. So come out to that. It's over at the Sahara Temple, 215 7th Street in Braddock. $10 tickets. Hey, come down. Last show, 2018. We're going to go out with a bang.
Fantastic. I will be back on Sunday night. I know last time I promised to be back on Sunday night, and I lied. I wasn't back on Sunday night because I decided to take the day off for Christmas. It was just like there was nothing to talk about. Mm-hmm. I was actually in the Christmas spirit because I didn't have jingling gifts yet. I thought I had all the great gifts. I thought I was prepared.
Yes.
So I was in a really good mood, and there was just like nothing for me to really get that excited about except for me talking about the gifts, and people don't want to see me happy. That's not what people tune in for. People come in to see me miserable. That's what they enjoy.
People tune in to watch you, period.
Yeah, I mean...
Yes.
And you on Fridays.
Oh, yeah.
You've got a huge following that comes in on Fridays.
I know, man. Y'all love me.
So, yeah. So
you guys are awesome.
It was just like I just didn't know what to do, right? So I was kind of like, I don't know. But this week, I will absolutely be back. I'm really excited. My good friend, Michael Sorg. Everyone knows Sorg, right? Sorgatron, yes. So he's going to be... He did this music video. And we actually have the guy from the music video. He's going to be here in studio. And his name is Nick. I believe I'm saying it correct. Ivan. I'm going to get the correct pronunciation before Sunday. But he shot a music video with Sorg. We're going to bring him in studio. We're going to maybe post the music video leading into Sunday.
Nice.
And then we're going to have him in studio to play a few songs and talk about the process.
Okay.
So that's coming up.
Sounds good.
That's coming up on Sunday. So
looking
good
forward to
stuff there.
that. Hey, we need all the positive energy we can get, man. We got that big game tomorrow, so
What game's tomorrow?
I mean on Sunday. We got that big game on Sunday. Yeah.
What time is that game?
4:25. So
what time does that end? That ends around 8 o'clock?
like around 7.
Around 7.
Yep.
All right, just in time. AB's not even playing. They're going to lose. So just tune in right
well,
here.
you heard it here, folks. This
7
is how
p.m.
Brian feels about the Steelers. Their last
7
game
p.m.
of the season.
Who cares? Right here. This is the real game. This is the real action. This is where you want to be, right here on River Talk. This is the River's Edge Radio Network. Thanks to Vincent Didiano for coming in. Don't forget to check him out, POVincent. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the River's Edge on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcasting app. Rate and review us to make sure everybody can find their way here, where you can listen to great shows, your favorite shows, like this one, The Mike Sasson Show, Guy's Got Game, and, of course, POVincent movie reviews. So, for Jay Cooper, I'm Brian Crawford. This has been the River's Edge Radio Network.
Later, bitches.